Hello again, everyone. This is Jackie with Jackie of All Trades. Thanks again for coming back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how I patched up 2 holes in the wall in one of my upstairs bathrooms. For a bit of history, I did have an electrical issue upstairs. An electrician came in and replaced a faulty wire that resulted in us having reliable lighting in the upstairs area and just a safer environment for us all. But in the midst of him doing that, he was running the wire through the wall so that it wasn't visible, and that resulted in 2 holes in the wall that needed to be repaired. And so I took on that repair myself. But patching the holes in the wall is not the only thing that I've done in that bathroom. As a matter of fact, I began a remodel on that bathroom about 1.5 years ago. And by patching the 2 holes in the wall, I'm taking another step in bringing that bathroom kind of up to a modern day feel. The goal today is to get that wall ready for paint eventually. And I think the best course right now is to go ahead and give you a history on that bathroom and jump right into the repair. So I hope you enjoy. Let's watch. To get us up to speed, I'll give a brief history of this bathroom, which I gave a slight refresh about 1.5 years ago. There's no film, as this was prior to my YouTube days. Yeah, I see the old toilet there. I refaced the floors using a Rust-Oleum floor kit, used 2 colors and some painter's tape, and followed a simple pattern to update the floors to a fun, crisp design. And I got that pattern idea off of a blog post online that I will link to in the description below. But I created a pattern that I was really very pleased with. Look at how beautiful that is. After I did the floors, I patched a hole that was in the ceiling right above the shower using the joint compound I'll be using today. And I also hung a new curtain rod, which is not in these pictures here. I then painted the cabinet in a deep gray color to complement the floors, and I also had a new toilet installed. Finally, I painted this mirror here in a coordinating color and then hung wallpaper to finish this new look, and that's how we got to where we are today. So our ultimate goal today is to make these holes in the wall disappear, and we're going to do that by pulling out these pieces of drywall. We're going to sand down these jagged, ridgy areas on the drywall pieces themselves, as well as the hole in the wall that they came from. At that point, we're going to use a combination of joint compound, wall repair fabric, and the sanding process to smooth the whole wall over and get it ready for paint. So if you want to see how this goes, please do stick with me and we'll take this journey together. So we have the 2 screws, and I'll talk about those in a minute. I've got my little plastic bag in. If you've seen my prior wall repair video, then you know why we use that. Got the fabric here. So this is wall repair fabric from the duct tape brand. Never know, because these pieces are mobile right now, I might need a little bit of tape to help me out. So I've got this tape here. Told you about our sanding block. This here is going to be for smoothing. So when I put the joint compound on the wall, try to work into grooves. I have actually another one, a smaller one I may use as well, but it's basically for smoothing the wall out. And then we have the joint compound itself, which will be used to kind of recreate that wall around the sheetrock that has just been destroyed. Let's get started. So the electrician, he did use some tape to kind of hold it in there so that it wouldn't fall through. And he's taken this wire here to meet the new one up in there. Fix that area. So yeah, this is the hole that was left. We're gonna have to patch that together. Then we've got this one. I'm gonna need to remove this cover to get that one off. So I won't even waste your time describing everything that I went through trying to get this piece of drywall out of this hole. I tried 3 methods before ultimately taking the smoothing tool and shoving it in the bottom and wedging that little piece of drywall out, and there's the result. This is our piece. We're going to use this little spot here as due north, so we know that it should be to the right and toward the top, and that's going to get us the perfect fit back in here, theoretically. In order to get an optimal finish on the wall so that it's ready for paint, I'm going to use my sanding block as well as a pair of scissors to really work on these pieces of drywall that have come out of the wall, as well as a hole that's been left on the wall itself. I'm smoothing out the edges, taking off any rough or jagged pieces or pieces of loose hanging paint, or even that paperback liner, paring it back so that when I replace it all back into the wall and it's time to apply the joint compound, that there won't be any bumps or lumps along the way, and that I can get a smooth finish when it's time to paint. Okay, there we go. So I've sanded the blocks, and as I have sanded these pieces and also sanded the wall, now what I've done is made this piece smaller and made the opening to fit this piece larger. And so there are greater opportunities for this piece to kind of slip behind the wall and disappear into oblivion, never to be found again, right? So the plan at this point is to create a handle with my nails. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this in, and so I'll have it sitting through the drywall while I maneuver it in and out of the wall and position it. It helps me to kind of set and move the piece around and get it centered, but also I won't have to worry about trying to come in from the sides. And then once I'm finished, everything is dry, all I'll do is just come over this piece with a little bit of joint compound, kind of make the hole disappear, and it'll all be ready for painting. So I think it's a pretty good idea. It's a good compromise. So I'm going to try that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work on repairing the wall. And so I told you I was going to put these little screws in here, so I do have them. And I'll be able to hold these like this while I position them, right? Next thing I need to do is cut my pieces of fabric tape that I'm going to need. All right, so we've done our sanding, we've done our cutting up of the tape and gotten our joint compound ready. And now we're ready to fit these back. And I think you'll notice, as I said, now with the sanding, this hole has gotten larger. The actual piece that goes in the hole has gotten smaller. So now when I go to fit it in, you'll see that it just kind of slides right in there. See, like that. So what I want to do is kind of butter up this area. I don't know how to say that, but just put a little bit of joint compound in here so that I can kind of sit this in, and that it'll have a place to kind of rest a little bit. Then I'd like to put the tape around here and just a little bit of extra compound, and I want to let that dry. I hope I can do that. I think I can make that work, right? I think so. Anyway, let's see. Well, we'll see if it does like I want it to do. So, as I said, just a little bit in here. I'm trying not to get in the picture. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So, what is that? Tape. Checks everything. Okay. So anyway, less distractions, Jackie. Less distractions. All right. Now, is that right? Okay, we can see. So I'm gonna go. right, everybody, that completes phase one. You stuck through the repair with me. Thank you. And just to recap, an electrician came in to replace a faulty wire, and he ran it through the bathroom up through the wall so that he could hide that wire behind the wall, but he left 2 open pieces of drywall, so the wall was unrepaired. I put a little bit of joint compound into the holes, and then I slid the sheetrock pieces back in, put the wall repair tape over top, and then more joint compound on top of that, and I've smoothed it out now, semi-smooth, but enough to where it can kind of dry and solidify through the day. I'm going to let it dry all day, minimum of 6 hours, probably realistically more like 8 to 10 hours. I have a high-powered fan. I'm going to put that fan in here and let it go all day to kind of dry the area. The hope is I'm going to come back tonight. It'll be dry enough for me to sand it, wipe it down, and then put a second layer of the joint compound on. And then I'm going to let that one sit overnight. And in the morning, it should be sanded down and wiped again. And theoretically, it will be ready for paint. And I'm going to call that good at that point. So, yeah, we have a plan going forward. So I will see you in the evening. Okay, so it is the next morning, and everything seemed to have dried pretty well, and so I think we'll just finish it off today with sanding, wiping it down, and then I'll go ahead and put that outlet cover back on. But I did want to let you see the progress that was made and a couple of errors that I made, but that are easily fixable. So take a look. I mean, it has dried pretty well. And you can kind of see some ridging in here, but I believe I can sand that down really well and have it nice and flat even here. So I'm not concerned so much about that. What did concern me though is below, and this is all, by the way, before I sand everything and treat it, I think I put the compound on just a little too thick and heavy. And so as a result, I have these deep cracks in here. I know I can sand it flat, but my question is, how deep do these grooves go? So I could sand it completely flat and then have all of these flat lines in there, which I really don't want. However, I think even if I do have flat lines in there, I can just kind of put a little skim coat over that and cover those up. So that's what we're about to do next. So what do you think? I really like how this job has turned out. I think it came together rather well. It is one step in numerous steps that need to take place in this bathroom. If you like this video, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Even if you didn't like it and you have some critiques that you'd like to tell me, go ahead and down below let me know what you think. I am still learning. I'm a newbie at this, so I know there are some things that I could do better, and I would love to hear from you. But if you do hit the like button, that would do me a big favor. So I would love it if you would hit that button. And while you're at it, if you like home improvement and DIY style videos, that's the type of content that I put out for the most part. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know the next time one of my videos is released. That's it for today. I'm going to call this a job well done, and I will see you next time.